business for women, and we do more than just talk about jewelry here or just about the jewelry I create. We do lots of things. I'm going to wait for both TikTok and YouTube to notify people that I'm live, and then I will continue on with the introduction about what we do here and about what we're going to do tonight. So welcome in. I'm going to bring up my backup account so that I can see comments a little bit easier. I can only have a backup account for TikTok. I do not have one for YouTube. Sorry. There we go. Takes me a moment to remember how in the world am I supposed to do this, and I do it multiple times a day. So you think it would be all easy. Hi Meg, how are you? Hey, TikTok is already notifying people that I'm live. Woohoo! All right, then I'm going to go ahead and get started with our intro and what we're doing. And my hair is like curling all over where I'm like, don't know why it's curling there. I'm doing good. It has been a better day. So here on social media, I do lives on TikTok and YouTube. Those types of lives are chat times, which we had a chat time earlier today, and tutorials. And we have a tutorial right now. I'm doing good, sweetheart strings. How about you? And so tonight, our item that we're going to be making is called Simply Midnight Earrings. It is a black oval bead that is the focal bead. And we do have another black rondelles in there to give it an accent. So this is the pair. We're just going to do one pair tonight, but I want to then take some time to talk about something else. And I don't know if anybody's caught on to it. I told you my hair is driving me nuts. If anybody's caught on to it yet or not. And so we'll be doing that at the end. We also do live tutorials where we talk about, we do selling tutorials where we will go in and I will sell the items that you can make it. So tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, we will have on TikTok only the earring kit that you see here is going to be up for sale. So we'll have the earring kit for those. We have 20 of those available. But also, you will also be able to buy an entire strand of these beads, and you could buy a half a strand of these oval beads. So those will both be available. The earring wire here in gold, that push hook earring wire, will also be available tomorrow night. So just let you know. So there will be other things up for sale, but I wanted to let you know you will be able to buy some of those tomorrow night over on TikTok. So if you're on the YouTube and you have a TikTok account, come join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Hey, Rose. Hi, Rose's mom. So that's what we have going on there. Oh, I forgot to say it, and I just saw it. If we get 10 shares, 10,000 likes over here on TikTok, then we will be doing giveaways. And if we can share that out and like right away, that helps us with our algorithm of people coming in. So we will have another tutorial. I said we have 2 tutorials every week. Hi, Geraldine. We'll have another tutorial on, I believe it's Friday. So we have 2 tutorials, 2 chats. Chats are the times when we can talk about anything about running your small business or about jewelry making and asking questions. Hi, Christina. That's Lulu. I'm like, I had to look at the last name. And I'm like, that one's Lulu. Hi, Ms. Mary V. Thanks for the shares. I appreciate that. So that is what we have throughout the week. My schedule is always pinned on TikTok. If I forget to do it, hi Ashley, you guys remind me, and then I pin it. It is out on a video and a short over on YouTube. So you guys will be able to see my schedule for when I go live all week. Hi Amy. All right. So about our tutorial tonight, I was going to show you the tools that we are going to need. Flat nose pliers, round nose pliers, and a pair of flush cutters. That's the tools you're going to need. What you're going to need for supplies, we're going to have 2 of those black oval beads. We need, and I don't have these out on my bead mat, we're going to need 2 of those 4 by 3 millimeter size rondelles. Hi, Melissa. You will need, oh, I just poured out a whole bunch. We're going to need 2 of the fishhook earrings. Thank you for the gift, Melissa. And we will also need 4 of the head pins. So these are going to be flat head pins. So that is what you need for all of your supplies. So for those of you that are watching, I'm going to turn you guys down so that you can see my bead mat and see what I'm working on, okay? And once again, I'm going to show everybody before we begin the project what we are working on. We are going to make, hello everybody on YouTube. We are going to make this pair of earrings that are titled Simply Midnight. So that is what we're going to make. All right, everybody, just so you know, on TikTok, once I go down, I can't see comments, and I'm not trying to ignore you. I just can't see the comments. You guys are going to look at my bead mat to see what we're making. I can't have music when we do tutorials because I am also live on YouTube, and YouTube does not allow music. They allow classical music only. So it's just a rule. All right, there you go, TikTok. Whoops, there we go. Here you go, YouTube. You guys should all be able to see my bead mat. Let me know if you can't. Well, I'm kind of... All right. Like I said, we're going to need 4 of the head pins, 2 of our oval beads. Let me tell you the size of them. Hi, Val. Hey, I replied to you. And also to let you know, the quote of the day is out there on YouTube. These are 13.7 by 8.7 millimeters is the size of that one. So those are the sizes. So it's like a 13.5 by 9.5. And then 2 of the 4 by 3 millimeter rondelles. Then my 2 earring wires, and I'm using fishhook. You can use a lever back if you want, or you can even use a post. I just don't have either one of those right now. Okay, how we're going to start this off, we're going to put all 4 of our beads on our head pins. Thank you, Lisa, for the You're Awesome. The You're Awesome fits our quote about just getting started instead of waiting for inspiration to hit. Once it hits, things just take over and then you start making. Hi, Rainbow. All right, so we got our head pins on all 4 of our beads. We are going to, and I do not have a mark for this one on my thing, so I'm going to have to put a mark. I'm going to do this one down closer to the end today because this one I want a smaller circle for my loop. So I am going just to have that one mark down towards that end, okay? You just use a Sharpie to put that mark on. That will be the same mark to determine how long we're going to wrap around and for our loop. Take the head pin and put it where that mark is at on your tool. Do you see that? Now this is facing so your head pin is straight up and down. I'm going to take my finger and pushing that head pin at a 90-degree angle. So if I look at this from the side, do you see how I go up and I'm 90 degrees out? That is our first thing that we're going to do. Now we're going to reposition our tool on our black line at a 45 degrees in that angle. So you see how that tool, I went from being right here, I'm just open it and I move that up towards the top. That's all we do. Now take your finger and bring this wire around the top, and you'll get to a point right here after you've brought it towards yourself that you can't go anymore because that bead's in the way. Bring that bottom part loop, see it was down here before, bring that to the top, and then that creates an opening here for us to be able to finish that loop. So now we have that loop. Grab a hold of your plier or I'm just using my round nose. You can use straight nose if you want, or you can use round nose. Grab the end of this and we're going to wrap it around until it hits that bead. So if you'll notice, like the 2 barber pole on there. And then we're going to take our flush cutters, get right in there and cut that end off. And I do not have my glasses on. I'm going to grab my glasses, everybody. I noticed that as soon as I went to try to go in, cutting is one of the things that's a little bit smaller and I need the glasses for. There we go. So after we cut that off, you'll see that barber pole and that loop. That is what we want. Okay. I'm going to do it on the other side also. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my pliers. We're putting our pliers flush with the bead, so there's no space in between that bead and the pliers. We're not like up here on this one. We're down flush on that first bead. Go ahead and push that away 90 degrees. Hi, Craft 167. So you see how that's 90 degrees in there. We reposition our tool, open it up and take this one that's nearest you and put it on the top. That puts it in a 45-degree angle in there. We're going to bring that around over the top of the wire or over the top of the tool till we hit the bead. And do you see what I mean by there is, whoops, let me get that to focus. There is no room for anything to move. If I just take and flip that to the top, do you see how I open that up? And then you can get in there. And then you have your loop. Now, the reason why you reposition that tool 45 degrees is, do you see, I'm going to grab this one for a minute and show you. Do you see how this circle is a complete circle? If I had not done that 45 degree, this would come up straight and then start the loop. So you would have a little bit of a straightness to it. By moving it that little bit in there, that tool, you get a full circle. All right. Grab a hold of that loop with your pliers. Grab a hold of the wire with a flat nose plier and just bring it around. And when I'm bringing it around, I am putting the wire right below where I was at before. Don't go on top. Go around it, so that you get like that barber pole technique to it. I'm trying to see, can you guys see that? Yep, a D versus an all. That's a great way to word that, Rosie. Yep, I got what. So Rosie is saying over here on TikTok is that if I don't reposition that 45 degrees in there, I'm going to get a D where you have a line and then you have the curve. Whereas if I position it 45 degrees in there, you're going to get the O. And then we're going to cut that end off. So now I'm going to bring over our example. We have created this part of our earring, the bottom part. Okay, now we're going to work on our second one. This is why I use longer head pins, is that I can't create eye pins to make them equal on each side. It's just not something that's for me. If you're someone that can use an eye pin and you can get it to have the same size circle on both sides, go for it. I just can't. So that's why I use head pins to do it. When you're using head pins, for the first side, for the first circle, you're going to go part way down. If you notice, I'm part way down, about a third or so of the way down. I've got my line lined up with my head pin, and I'm going to go 90 degrees away from me. Once again, you see how that's 90 degrees? If you look at this, someone said it looks like a giant upside down L the other day when we were working on something, and it does, or the number 7. Now we're going to put our tool 45 degrees within that 90-degree angle. So this is your tool isn't the 45 degrees. Line it up on the line. I need to move it over a smidge. There we go. Bring this around. You're going to get to a part where it won't go again, so you have to reposition and then create your circle. Yes, we have a lot of space here, but I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a moment. Open up your circle just a little bit. Do you see how I've opened that up there? Grab that bottom piece and put it on. And then close up your circle by just bringing that back down like this. And then do that barber pole around. We had 2 on there and I got 2 again. And then cut off the little edge. Oh my! I'm going to stop for a second here and bring both of you guys up because we get to play a game now. TikTok got us to, we got 28 shares, which is over our 10, and we are at 11,000. And we needed at least 10. So I'm going to bring this up. You guys are going to look at me with my glasses on. And we're going to play a game. You guys get to guess a color. Whoever guesses the color will then, I got to do this so I can see comments. Whoever guesses the color correctly first will win a bag of bead soup. So I'm going to put the color, I can put it into here on TikTok. I can't do it on YouTube, but you guys get to play too. So let me, why is it not letting me put my word in? There we go. For heavens to Betsy's sakes, let's do this. I'm going to start a drawing. Don't guess, everybody, because it's not the right word. Oops, my screen is not letting me touch for some reason. There we go. I can quit now. Okay, I just had to adjust it a little bit. Now we're going to do it. My glasses, I just can't see you guys right. There we go. Now I can get this started. All right, both of you can start guessing words now. Thanks, Rainbow. Go ahead and guess the color. I'm going to watch, because I got to watch to see if TikTok or YouTube, and then I will do the scooping after. And you guys can both play. And someone has got it over here on TikTok. All right. Let me write this on the bag. Sean, I do not know that I have your mailing information. Can you message that to me? Sean guessed the color lilac, and that is the color it was. Okay. Got your name on the bag so I don't lose it. Congratulations. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So congratulations. Let me get you a bag of bead soup going here, okay? I do have to weigh it over on my scale over there, but just give me a minute to scoop it up, and then I will show it to you. Let's go see what our weight is. There's a certain weight that I hit for the bead soup. And I'm not there yet. I got to put a couple more beads in there and then we'll be there. So hold on. There we go. All right, here you go, Sean. Awesome. So here is some of the beads in there. There's an acrylic bead. We have polymer clay. We have some gemstones. We have glass beads. So there's all different types. This is your name on this side, so sorry. But here is what Sean won. So I'll get that out to you. Congratulations. Now, for me to be able to see what I'm making, I got to put the glasses back down. I am not used to glasses up and down. I'm glad you like it. All right, here we go, back down. I'm gonna put you back down here, YouTube. So congratulations. Let's see if we can do 2 giveaways tonight. All right, so we've got our first loop and we connected these 2. Now we're going to create our second loop. Once again, but this time we're gonna be down to the bottom of our bead, or the top of our bead with our pliers. We are going to push this away 90 degrees, reposition this in there 45 degrees within there, bring it around over the top. Once you get to the point where it won't move again, reposition your tool so that this part's up on top now, and then go so you get your loop. Hold on to that loop with one of your pliers. You get to decide if you want flat nose or chain nose. Wrap that around until those loops get together like that. And then we're going to cut off that end. So that is the first part, where we've got the loop and our 2 beads connected as links. We are going to do our second one here. So once again, grab your head pin about 1/3 of the way down. Put, oh, we got to go a little bit, right there, looks good. Put your pliers on that line that we created. The reason why we created that line is so that it will have the same size loop for all of our loops. Reposition this 45 degrees in there. And then bring that around, reposition your tool again. Hold down your, whoop, nope, don't hold it down yet, because we forgot to put this one on. So open up, once again, open that up a little bit, and then put this link on. If you forget to do it the first time, you have a second chance. So it's not the end of the world and you don't have to start over. It's just easier to take and put this on with this end where we don't have the flathead part. If you do it with the flathead part, you just have to cut this part off to get it to go through the loop. Wrap this around twice to create our little barber pole effect, and then cut off the end. Okay. Now, there we got our second, or we got our links together. We got to create our second loop right here. Flatten or round those pliers down to the bottom of the bead, or down to the top of the bead, I mean, 90 degrees away. Reposition that 45 degrees in there. So you see where we got the 90 and this is 45. Bring this around over the top, reposition, and finish out that loop. Hold it down with one of your pliers, take the other plier and wrap this around like that, and then cut off the end. There we go. Now we officially have 2 link dangles there. There we go. And now we need to attach them to our earring wire. Most of these earring wires have a loop on the bottom here when you've got the fish hook ones. Lever back will have a little loop at the bottom, and the post usually will have a loop at the bottom. That loop usually has a little cut in that circle so that you can open it up. It just so happens that these have it here on like what I call the inside, because this is the front side of what you're gonna see when you wear your earring, and I call this the inside because it's what faces the inside of your ear. So you open this up, take our loop and just put it on, and then close it up. When you open up your earring, it is just like opening up a jump ring. Either go towards you or away from you. Do not open it this way. You will distort this loop here, and we don't want to distort that loop. So like if you watch me, I go towards myself, and if you notice, I'm going to try to turn this so you can see. You see how that's coming out towards me when it's facing me? And then I put my loop on, or my links on here, And then I close it up by going the opposite way, which is away from me. And then you've closed that up. And we made our second earring. Yes, I have another pair that we have. Got multiples of this one, but this is the pair that we just made. And he is not sitting right. There we go. If they don't sit right, you usually just have to like wiggle them because they got caught on each other. But there we are. There is the pair of earrings that we just made. Very simple. Yep, you got it, Craft 167. They are cute and simple. Now there is a reason why I have only one earring design tonight. And as I was talking with one of my kids earlier, Val, I don't know if Val's still on, but Val, are you still here? Nope, they hopped off. That's okay. They're working on something for me. The reason why I did a lot of the things that we've done recently, and I'd never explained something about it. And I was talking to them, and they're like, holy wow, why didn't you say this in the beginning? And I'm like, I was going to wait till the end, but I don't want to wait till the end. I should have, like what they said is I should have told you about this in the beginning. If you guys have not noticed, we have been naming the jewelry that we've been making for the fall 2025, winter 2026. There's a word that's in a lot of it. And that word is either like simply, simple, that type of thing. It is to create what you would have as a line of jewelry of very simplistic but elegant jewelry. And I don't know if any of you have caught on to that, but we had the Simply Stunner necklace for the choker necklace. We had the Simply Grace with just the just one bead on it. And there's been others that we've used those words on. And it's because you can then take these and make a cohesive collection of jewelry to sell. And you can name it what you want by using one of the words. And I never thought about that. I hadn't told you guys that that was what I was doing. All right, we got 22K. And so that is one thing I want you guys to think about while you're working on it, is if you're going to create a line of jewelry that you're going to sell, you do not have to create a huge, enormous display. You can create a smaller display with lots of simple jewelry and naming them so it is a collection. And we could talk about that more. I would love to talk more about it here, everybody, when we're going to do, after we get done with this giveaway, okay? Let's see, which color? Okay. All right, go ahead, everybody, and put colors in the chat. You can too, YouTube. You guys can guess with us. And I'm going to bring that over now that we're done making. I can bring over our bead bowl, our bead soup. Da-da-da-da. I just love showing that. I know it sounds really silly, but I do love showing it off. So I was going to say, Sean, this is the bowl that I just got your bead soup out of earlier, if you are still on. I just had stuff on my table, so I couldn't bring it over here. This one is one word. I will tell you that. The color is one word. It is a color that I would say is in the Neutral family. All right, someone's got it. Let's see who it is. Meg, you are the winner for this 20K. Congratulations. The color was tan, and someone else got it after Meg, but I don't know who it is because I lost it before then. But the color was tan. Let's go ahead and scoop up Meg's here. Oop, Meg's got a oh my Lord. Hematite. I'm like, what is that? Oh boy. All right. Let me go see what this one weighs. I'll be right back. I got to buy batteries to bring my scale back over. Whoop, we need to add about 2 beads. They're still underneath the weight. So let me add a couple more in there. There we go. So congratulations, Meg. This one is yours. You've got our saucer bead. You've got some frosted. You got acrylic. You have some gemstones. You got a mix in there. So that one is Meg's. I'm just going to write your name so I don't lose whose is whose. There we go. So congratulations. Hi, Ray. How was your live? I tried to pop in, but my husband was watching TV, so I couldn't have my volume up. You're welcome. So now, what I was going to say about naming the collections the way that I did, by using the word simply, not everything had to have the same bead throughout. Not everything had to have the same metal color. Holy buckets, you do need rest. But by having everything come together by one word in the names of your pieces can make it a collection too. So, you know, you could end up making a few chokers and you could do the Simply Grace, and then I can't remember the names of all of them off of my top of my head, but you could create that layered necklace here on that with 3 of those, and you can have them up on display together and then have a display of different options next to it. You can also then add earrings that would, you know, tie into the necklaces with that word simply in it. You could just do those, like the Simply Grace color bead. You could make that into an earring of some sort, and they can go together. They don't have to be, the style right now is not everything has to be matchy. It just needs to look cohesively together. So that is why I never stopped and thought about that. So I have a question to ask you guys. Do you guys name your pieces that you create if you are going to sell your jewelry? I can understand that. That would be, whoa. Oh, you're very, very welcome, Lynn. I used to rush through it a lot faster. I am working on trying to do a better job of teaching. So I'm glad you gave that feedback. I appreciate it. One of the things that I used to rush through it and people had a hard time. And so I am really trying to slow down. And even if I've shown this, I showed this last week using the loop, we're still going to do it. Too much to think about naming them. Hi, Kelly. And that's what I would say for where I have displayed my jewelry. That I have a huge display of jewelry. And it doesn't mean that I don't sell my jewelry. I do. If you would look at the way I display the jewelry, I will have all of my stretchy bracelets together, but they are set up in rainbow color order with the neutrals at the bottom. So it goes like white and then tans, because that's the color we just had, the brown family. So you'd have the clear and the white. Then we go to the brown family, and then we go to the black. And so I have my neutrals down at the bottom of it. And that way, when people come in, they're like, okay, bracelet, I need this color. And they can stop and they can find it by just going through that way. I even set my necklaces up in the different style of necklaces in rainbow color order. So that is how I actually set up. I actually do not name all of them when I did in-person shows, but after working on this everything that we've done in the last, like, I would say month, it made me stop and think about, I had already decided to name everything with the word simply, because that is what the fall and winter is about. It is about simplistic, not minimalist, because minimalist means very little, but simplistic items together cohesively. And that's what I wanted to ask, if you guys were doing that. Yay, Kelly, I'm glad you love your box. Woohoo! We had a whole bunch of other boxes go out, and I haven't done what we're going to do for tomorrow. I will probably package up anything that pays through tonight. When I get up in the morning, I'm going to package those up right away. So if you guys want your packages, go ahead and pay for them tonight for those from Friday and Saturday sale, and I will get them out in tomorrow's mail. I know we only had one that answered about, that was Amy answered. Does anybody else name their jewelry? I'm just asking because I'm curious. I literally had not thought about it until I started doing this line. And when I mean line, it might be a collection, however you want to word it. It just came to me to try doing it. I've never done it before, and I really liked it, but I don't know. We'll have to see if we can continue it with the spring and summer of 2026. Ashley sometimes. Meg says she doesn't, but she's never thought about it. And I had never thought about it. It just, when I was coming up with names to name everything, that's when it hit, because I can't just name my tutorials. And this is really where it came from, in all honesty. I can't name all of my tutorials. Choker necklace, medium length necklace, long necklace. And then you guys are like, well, how do I find that tutorial? So it made me stop and think about, I need to name all the necklaces or all the bracelets or all the earrings that we're designing so that you guys can find them. And then I was like, hold it, this is turning out to be, and then I started researching, I've continuously researched what the trends are and that type of thing. And I'm like, hold it, this is all, and I don't know a better word than simplistic. Each item is simplistic, but cohesively together. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep using that word throughout. So let me know, we'll talk about this again in a future live. You guys need to let me know if you decided to try it and see how it worked and see how it made you set up differently, that type of thing. If you do stuff in person, or if you do it online, do you show it all together and tell them, okay, this piece is this and here's the colors, or how you guys do that? Okay, Candy does it according to the material and my special collection of flowers. And she calls that Forever Bloom. I love that. Forever. There's a song with Forever and it just came in my head. I can't sing to you guys tonight though. I like this. And you know what? On our chat today, we did not continue our chat information from last week that we said we were going to continue. And I, for the life of me, could not remember what it was. So I'm going to go back through last week's chat before we have our next chat, which will be Thursday night at 8 p.m. And I will rewatch it to remember what we were going to talk about. And I will bring that back in because we were going to continue that. Hi, Leo. And make sure that, we are thinking about it, but I just cannot remember. And I will try to let you guys know in the next couple of days what it was. Thank you for the Heart Me Candy. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., we are going to have the silicone sale for this week. We have 2 silicone sales this week. The one tomorrow at 11 is going to be printed beads, printed silicone beads that are 15 millimeters. I will tell you guys, I went through some of the printed beads that we haven't had out ever before. There are some brand new ones for tomorrow. There are some that we're bringing back. the printed ones, I actually found buried in the Christmas ones, 2 Halloween ones. So we don't have a lot of them. So if you guys are looking for those Halloween prints, they're going to be items number 1 and 2 tomorrow. So get on right away. And if you want to claim some Halloween print ones. I did place another order for some more Halloween silicones, because when I said I thought I'd ordered them in my silicone order, I went back and looked and I didn't. And I don't know why I didn't. I really thought I did. So I placed a quick order and ordered that this morning. So we will be getting those here around the 1st of September. I'm just going to let you know. I won't have them until the 1st of September. We have some focals and we have some prints. So we have that, but that'll be in September. So if you want to get some of those right now, I would say join us tomorrow at 11. Plus we will have, I think it is like 6 colors that we've never, or 6 prints that we've not seen before. I'll bring those, and then we will also have some repeats. So that's what we got for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, like we talked about at the very beginning, we are going to have this black oval bead. We're going to have the gold earring wire. The earring wires that I'm bringing 3 different colors. I asked you guys earlier today and you said bring them. I'm going to bring 3 different colors. I have the gold, I will have black, and I will have antique bronze tomorrow. They are all nickel free. They're cadmium, lead, and nickel free. So those are the ones to hopefully have the least amount of irritant to people's ears. I'm not going to say everybody is going to be able to wear them, because there are some people that are even allergic to sterling silver and they have to have true gold. But for the lower end price point, this is going to be the style or the type of earring with no lead, cadmium, or nickel in it, to have the least amount of irritants. Hopefully it makes sense. So we'll have those 3 earrings. I have a couple of acrylic beads picked out, and I still need to fill in the rest. We'll bring between 15 and 20 items to tomorrow night's bead sale. When I first started doing lives with the bead sales, we always had Tuesday night. If Rose is still here, she will know. Tuesday night and Friday night lives were always my sale nights. We had chat and we had tutorials all the rest of the week. And I only went live Monday. This is throwback. Ashley probably knows it too. I went live Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m., Friday at 7 p.m., and Saturday at 10 a.m. That was my schedule. Every day, Monday through Thursday at 8, Friday at 7, 10 on Saturday, off on Sundays. But as we got Buttercup, I had to change it up, and we did less lives. And now with not having a corporate job, I can do them during the day. So we're just mixing it up. But for us, it just really works okay going live at 8 p.m. when we do it on the weeknights. It gives us family time. So I don't want to change that. I don't want to come on earlier. I know it sounds really weird to say, but it's just what works for us and my family. But yeah, that was back in the day. And we always did, the bead sale was every Tuesday and Friday. Those were my bead sale days. I didn't sell Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. No sales on those days. Saturdays, every once in a while, I would have a special. Like once a month, I'd sell on a Saturday, but it was very rarely. And then I found out if I do things on Saturday, I can have a longer sale. So yeah, so that's how we've evolved around here. And that's the thing. We always have to evolve with our businesses. So, but tomorrow we will have 2 sales. Silicone at 11 a.m. Central, and then bead sale at 8 p.m. Central. Wednesday, I'm trying to think. Oh, it's Bring Back. We're going to have Bring Back on Wednesday. And I don't remember the time. I think it's 1 o'clock. Or let me go double check. I redid how, you guys, I need your feedback. For those of you that have gone out and looked at the schedule, do you like the schedule where it's on one page instead of it going day by day? Let me know your thoughts, because I changed it up. Paige says, yes. I used to have it as one page, and it was just something that I created. But I was never able to put that one page as like out on YouTube, because YouTube needs videos. Well, Val then showed me that you don't need videos for YouTube. And I'm like, oh, but then when I went to create it in Canva, I got it to create it as a video. And so I will do it like that going forward as one page, since you guys are loving that and you just have one place to look. So yes, it is 1 p.m. on Wednesday for the bring back sale. Now, if anybody was on my live on Saturday, you would have seen that we had someone new come in, and she asked if I could find her more chain. And I did find her different styles of chain. Then I thought about, I'm going to have to put all these chains back where they belong by how I sold them. And then I thought, hello, why not just bring those to a bring back sale? So I will let you guys know, bring back sale has about 10 different chain options available on it. So lots of different chains. So it will be like the 1 meter bags of chain. We have like 10 of those or around there of that. And then someone else asked for necklaces. And when I was going to find the chain, I found 2 very low quantity necklaces of 16 and 18 inch. Hi, Andy. And so I will bring those also. So we're going to have chains and then a couple of low quantity necklaces. I found a Halloween bead that we had out there from a while back, not too long ago, but I thought it's right at the right moment. Let's bring that one back. And then I'm going to grab a couple of other items. I haven't decided what those are yet, but I'm almost done getting everything ready for Wednesday's sale too. So just to let you know, we've got that. Then Thursday, we are going to have a Charm and Grace necklace tutorial at 2 o'clock. And then we're going to have chat time on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Friday, we're going to have a silicone sale. And that silicone sale on Friday is going to more than likely be acrylic beads and maybe some other items in it. And then we're going to have our normal bead sale on Friday night, which we will then have some of the Charm and Grace kits made up for Friday night sale. Saturday and Sunday, there are no lives. I'm not going to go live Saturday and Sunday. The reason why I'm not going to go live this Saturday is that if anybody follows Zuli Bella Boutique, she is going to have a sale all day where people can go on, and she's been talking about it on her Discord. But it's a place where you can go and get discounted craft items. It's not going to be just bead items. It's also going to be crafted items. And so if you would follow her and join her, it is like going to be all day Saturday from like 11 o'clock Eastern. And if I'm getting the times wrong, everybody, you can tell me the times are wrong. It's like from 11 to 4 Eastern. And then they're going to start up again at 6 p.m. They're going to take like a supper break and allow people to eat and then come back. And then they're going to do more of it. And it is discounted prices and that type of thing. And it's Zuli, Z-U-L-Y. And then like how we would spell it in English, Bella, B-E-L-L-A. But she does not pronounce it as Bella because of her heritage. And now that I said that, it has escaped me how she says it. But when I say it, I will be able to get it later. And then the word boutique. And it's all together as one word here on TikTok is where she will be going live with that. So I wanted to allow you guys to have the opportunity to join that. Bea, thank you. I'm like, as soon as I said it the wrong way, it's just stuck in the noggin. So yes, Bea. So it's Zuli Bea Boutique. And so I would like you guys to be able to support all of the crafters that are going to be there. And they will explain the process. I was trying, there we go. There we go. Amy put it in there for you guys. And so that is where I was, that's why I'm not going to go live on Saturday, is to allow everybody to concentrate on that, because that is an opportunity for you guys to get things at a discount. and I don't want to take that away from you or compete with it. So if you guys want to go over there on Saturday, it also gives me a little bit of time to spend with Buttercup. so, so yes. So that's what we've got going on. And also another thing about it is that when I was making up my schedule, we didn't know what time our baseball game was going to be this weekend. And we could have had a game Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And I knew I couldn't take all 3 days off. So I decided to take 2. And our game happens to be on Sunday, so my normal day off. But what this means is that by having Saturday off, I will get all of your invoices done, sometime on Saturday, so that I can concentrate on family on Sunday. So that is why our schedule has no Saturday this time. And we're already getting ready to start our next week's. I'm trying to get even more proactive about the schedule and even trying to do it a lot more in advance. So after today, I should know what our lives will be for next week, but I'm not going to post it because I don't want to cause confusion of this week versus next week. But that is what we've got going on. I hope you guys can join us tomorrow for silicone, which will be prints, silicone print beads at 11 a.m. and also tomorrow night at 8 p.m. All right, everybody, I'm going to get going. I know tonight was a shorter night, but what I wanted to do is show you, one more thing I want to tell you before we take off. Now, I know I showed you how to make these with these 2 beads. I always say, take what we taught and make it your own. Meaning, what kind of shape of bead can you put in here? Or instead of connecting the 2 links together right away, you can make them as 2 separate pieces and connect them with like a very small jump ring. Change something up to make this your own. You can copy this. I don't mind you copying it. We will have the items up for sale. But how else can you change this up to make this your own? And then post the pictures out on the Facebook VIP page so we can all see it. I'm going to try to get a video done this week of how you guys can see those, okay? Because you have to go to mentions. It just doesn't come up on the page. So, all right. Yep, Z-U-L-Y. Hi, JR. So, yep, so that is what we will do for this week. And I just want to see what you guys make, okay? Everybody have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.